Durud, beloved listeners, I'm Sindokt, and welcome to another enchanting episode of Echoes of Persia. Our journey began with the first crown, from Kayumars to Jamshid, and in our last episode, Justice Complete, from vengeance to wisdom and Zaal and Simorgh's tale. In our previous episode, we followed the miraculous rise of Manucher, the heir of Iraj, who gathered Iran's mightiest warriors to avenge his grandfather's murder. The time had come for Manucher to confront his uncles, Salm and Tor, in a battle that determined the fate of justice itself. But this story went beyond vengeance. It was also about transformation, as we witness how Manucher evolved from a warrior seeking retribution to a wise king who understands the deeper responsibilities of leadership. And, as a bonus, we dived into the moving tale of Zaal, the white-haired warrior raised by the magical Simorgh. Before we begin, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support keeps these ancient stories alive for future generations. When word reached King Manucher that Sam approached with his white-haired son, such joy filled the royal heart that he offered thanks to the Creator repeatedly.
Great tidings, O king. Sam returns from Mount Alborz, and with him comes a wonder, a youth whose beauty rivals the moon, though his hair shines white as snow.
Let Prince Nozar ride forth to meet them. Let him carry our royal blessing to Sam, and let his own eyes confirm what our ears can scarcely believe.
See how even the prince's escort gleams with special splendor today. Every warrior polishes his armor to mirror brightness. Every horse wears its finest trappings.
When Nozar's party met Sam's company, the prince's eyes immediately sought out the white-haired youth who rode beside the great warrior.
By the Creator's glory, here stands not just Sam's son, but nobility itself given human form.
Though raised in eagle's nest on mountain high, his grace speaks more of court than clouded sky. In every gesture, every noble move, his royal blood, its ancient worth, does prove. As they neared the capital, Sam dismounted at the sight of Manucher's banner, but the king had commanded otherwise.
Mount again, O champion. The king commands you to ride proudly beside your son. For today, we celebrate divine wisdom's victory over mortal pride.
In the great hall, Manucher sat in glory upon his throne, Karen the warrior at one hand, leaving space for Sam at the other. When Zaal entered, his golden staff gleaming, his royal cap proud upon his white hair, a hush fell over the assembly. He moved like peace itself, this mountain child. His face brought rest to troubled hearts. His bearing spoke of both wisdom and strength. Even the king leaned forward on his throne to see better.
My king, before you stand living proof of heaven's mercy, overcoming human folly. What I, in my pride, cast away, the Simorgh, in divine wisdom, preserved.
Then Sam told the full tale. The birth, the abandonment, his dreams of remorse, and the journey to Mount Alborz.
There, I found a nest built of ebony and sandalwood, reaching past where even stars dare shine. The great bird had clothed him in feathers where I denied him silk, fed him rare meat where I denied him mother's milk.
Let the astrologers come forth. Let them read in heaven's book what fate has written for this twice blessed youth.
O King of Kings, joy shall be yours through this youth. The stars speak clearly. He shall be a mighty warrior, wise in counsel, mighty in battle. His name shall shine in Iran's chronicles like a star that never sets.
The king commanded his treasuries opened, and such wealth poured forth as would humble the spirits of spring. First came Arab horses, their trappings all gold, their bridles with jewels more than hooves could hold. Then Indian swords in scabbards of gold, each worth a kingdom's ransom, or so I'm told.
Roman slaves in Byzantine silk, their beauty rivaling the moon. Emerald dishes bearing turquoise cups, musk and amber, saffron and gold.
Hear the decree of the shadow of God on earth. From Kabul and Zabul to India's shores, from China's sea to the Sind, all these lands we grant to Zaal, son of Sam.
Such a charter had not been written since the days of Jamshid himself. Each word seemed to shine with royal power.
Guard this treasure well, champion of Iran. In your son, I see not just your heir, but Iran's future strength. The Simorgh's wisdom lives in his counsel, while your warrior blood flows in his veins.
From the fish that bears the earth to the moon above, no king has worn the crown with such justice. Your wisdom mirrors the Creator's own.
See how the wheel turns. The father who once rejected his son for being different now boasts of him before kings. For 7 days the palace celebrated. Wine flowed like water. Poets composed verses that would live forever, and musicians played till their fingers ached. When time brings forth a wonder such as this, when mountain nest leads straight to royal bliss, what choice has earth but celebrate in joy, as heaven's wisdom mortal pride destroys?
Let every city between here and Zabul prepare. Let them scatter gold and musk before these riders. Let them know that where the Simorgh once protected, now the king's favor guards.
Blessed be this union of heaven's choice and royal wisdom. As the Simorgh raised him in the heights, so shall the king's favor raise him among men.
I who learned wisdom from the great bird, now learn kingship from great Manuchehr. May I prove worthy of both my teachers?
As they approached Sistan, each city they passed tried to outdo the last in welcome. See how they've made Sistan shine like paradise. The very streets are perfumed with musk, the walls gleam with gold leaf, and saffron rains from every roof. Each town that greets them seeks to outshine the last, as though competing with paradise vast. Gold rains from rooftops, musk scents the air, while princes and peasants equal welcome share.
my wise counselors, hear me. The king requires my sword in Mazandaran. Yet, how can I leave my son so soon after finding him?
Sometimes a father serves his son best by letting him stand alone. The Simorgh taught him strength. Now let him learn leadership.
Sam gathered the nobles and wise men of the realm.
Know that while I am gone, my son rules in my stead. He who was preserved by divine wisdom now holds authority by royal decree. Let justice be your compass, wisdom your shield. The treasury is yours, the army follows your command. Gather wise men around you. There is no shame in seeking counsel.
How bitter this parting so soon after finding you. First the Simorgh's nest, now your hall. Must I always watch protectors leave?
This is different, my son. Now you part from me in glory, not shame. The realm needs your wisdom here, as it needs my sword elsewhere.
Zaal gathered around him astrologers, priests, and scholars. Day and night he studied warfare and wisdom, stars and strategy. His mind shone like a star with gathered knowledge.
Never have I seen one learn so swiftly. The Simorgh taught him well. He grasps meanings as an eagle grasps prey.
Remember my words, son of my heart. Rule with justice, but let mercy temper judgment. Show strength, but never forget how it feels to be different.
Go with the Creator's protection, Father. May your sword bring victory, as your return will bring joy.
And so began Zaal's reign in Zabul. The white-haired prince, raised by a magical bird, taught by nature itself, now faced his greatest challenge, ruling wisely over men.
See how wisdom sits naturally upon him. The Simorgh's nest proved a better school for kingship than any palace.
Thus ended Zaal's journey from outcast to ruler. But fate had yet another wonder in store for the white-haired prince. For love, that greatest of teachers, was about to enter his life. One day, Zaal decided to exercise his authority as ruler of Zabul by touring his domains. His chosen warriors rode beside him, their armor gleaming in the sun.
Let us see these lands that pay tribute, from India territories to Kabul.
My lord, your presence will remind them of your father Sam's authority and show them their new master's wisdom.
At every stop, his treasures freely flow. Wine flows like water, music sweet and low. The burdens lifted, pleasures freely shared. Such is the way when noble hearts have cared. At each stopping place, Zaal arranged grand festivities. The doors of his treasury opened wide, musicians played, and wine flowed freely.
My lord, ahead lies Kabul, where Mehrab rules, a king of Zahak's line, yet known for wisdom.
As they approached the gates of Kabul, Zaal's heart was light with youth's joy and victory's sweetness. Little did he know that fate had set its most cunning trap. Standing before them was Mehrab, tall as a cypress tree, graceful as a pheasant in movement, with the beauty of springtime in his face. He carried the wisdom of sages in his mind, the strength of warriors in his shoulders, the grace of nobility in every gesture.
Welcome, son of Sam, to Kabul's realm. Though we follow different ways, honor knows no boundaries.
Rise, Lord of Kabul. Your welcome honors us as much as your tribute honors my father.
As the feast proceeded, Zaal found himself strangely moved by Mehrab's noble bearing, despite the ancient enmity between their peoples.
Have you seen any warrior more worthy to wear a crown? Who else carries such dignity with their sword?
As the evening feast continued, Zaal's eyes kept returning to study Mehrab, finding in him a nobility that transcended the ancient hatred between their peoples. When wisdom meets with wisdom at the feast, old hatred's bonds grow fragile as the least of spiders' webs before the morning sun, as ancient enmities come undone. Mehrab presented his tribute: gold and rubies, musk and ambergris, Chinese silk and precious brocade.
Accept these gifts, O son of Sam, as tokens of Kabul's respect.
Never had such magnificence been seen. A crown adorned with royal gems, a golden collar studded with emeralds that caught and held the light.
Strange, is it not, that one of Zahak's line should carry such grace, such noble bearing?
My lord, sometimes the Creator's wisdom plants roses in unexpected gardens.
One wish I would make bold to speak, that you might honor my humble house with your presence.
Though my heart would accept, I fear my father Sam would not approve of his son dining in the house of those who follow different ways.
As Mehrab departed, a strange restlessness took hold of Zaal's heart. He who had never known defeat in battle now found himself wrestling with thoughts he dared not name.
Why does this refusal sit so heavy in my heart? What magic has this hour worked upon my mind?
Mark well this day, O listeners, for sometimes the greatest rivers begin from the smallest springs, and the mightiest fires from the tiniest sparks. Early morning found Mehrab returning from Zaal's court, his mind full of the young warrior's nobility. As he entered his private gardens, he walked toward the inner chambers where two suns brightened his palace. Two suns within one palace walls did shine. One Sindoct fair, one Rudabeh divine. Like spring's own garden, fresh with nature's art, each glance a flower to gladden any heart. There in the private chambers stood his queen Sindoct and his daughter Rudabeh, adorned like springtime itself, perfumed and radiant. Rudabeh stood tall as a cypress crowned with moonlight, her amber-scented hair adorned with jewels, her beauty like paradise itself.
Welcome home, my lord. How fared your meeting with Sam's son? What manner of man is this white-haired warrior who rules in his father's name?
O moon-faced one, among all the warriors of the world, none can match Zaal's path. His seat upon the horse, his bearing in the court, unequaled. He has the heart of a lion, the strength of an elephant, his arms like the rivers of the Nile. In court he showers gold, in battle he harvests heads, his face puts pomegranate blossoms to shame, and his white hair, which some mock, becomes him so well it seems to capture hearts.
As Rudabeh listened to her father's words, colour rose in her cheeks like sunset on snow. Each praise of Zaal was like an arrow finding its mark in her heart. As every word fell soft upon her ear, love's hidden flame began to burn more clear, till peace and patience fled her gentle breast, leaving her heart to love's sweet unrest. And so desire took the place of reason in Rudabeh's heart, changing her thoughts, her ways, and her manner. For love, when it truly strikes, transforms everything it touches.
How can one I've never seen capture my thoughts so completely?
In her private chambers, Rudabeh gathered her 5 Turkish handmaidens, loyal servants who were more like sisters to her heart.
Come close, my trusted ones. Today, I must unveil what my heart can no longer contain.
5 stars around their moon did gather near to catch the whispered secrets in their ear. Each one a confidant of trusted worth, each one to guard a love yet finding birth.
Know that I am like a stormy sea, with waves reaching to the heavens. My heart is filled with thoughts of Sam's son. Even in sleep, his image never leaves me.
The handmaids exchanged glances, amazement written on their faces.
O crown of noble women, praised from India to China, have you forgotten who you are? Would you embrace one raised by a bird in the mountains?
Your beauty surpasses the cypress in the garden. Your face outshines the light of Persia itself. Think of your father's honor.
At their words, Rudabeh's face flushed with anger, her eyes flashing like stars before a storm.
I want neither Caesar, nor the Emperor of China, nor any crowned head of Iran. Zaal's height matches mine with his lion's strength and noble bearing. Call him old or young, he is my soul's match.
Seeing their princess's passion, understanding the depth of her love, the handmaidens' hearts softened.
We are your servants, loyal in heart and deed. Command us, and we shall obey.
If sorcery is needed to bring the king to the moon, we shall learn it. We'll fly with the birds if we must, become gazelles in pursuit of solutions.
Trust in us, moon-faced princess. Love finds its way like water through stone.
As dawn touched the palace walls, Rudabeh's handmaidens prepared their clever plan. In Roman silk, they dressed with subtle art, each fold and drape to play its crucial part, their tresses crowned with flowers fresh and fair, as spring itself had caught them in its snare.
See how fortune favors us. The month of Farvardin brings new life, and Zaal's army camps beside these very waters.
Gather flowers, sisters. Let us seem only what we appear. Simple maidens enjoying spring's bounty.
From his high throne, Zaal's keen eyes spotted these flower-gatherers by the water's edge.
Who are these maidens who make the riverbank bloom twice over with their presence?
My lord, they serve in Mehrab's palace. The moon of Kabul sends them to gather flowers in the garden.
Zaal, master of strategy both in war and peace, saw his opportunity.
Bring me my bow. Let us show these garden visitors how a warrior hunts.
With one perfect shot, he brought down a water bird in full flight, the arrow's path as true as love's own aim.
What warrior is this, whose arrows fly straight as destiny's own path?
This is Zaal, son of Sam, whose fame reaches to the stars themselves. None can match his skill with bow and arrow.
And so began the delicate dance of words and glances, each movement carefully choreographed by love's clever servants.
In Mehrab's palace dwells a moon-like beauty, whose face outshines the sun itself. From head to toe she's like pure ivory, crowned with night-dark tresses.
Each word they spoke, a thread of golden light. Each praise a star to brighten lovers' night. Not speaking plain, yet speaking clear and true, as love's sweet message gently filtered through. Intrigued by their words, Zaal summoned the handmaidens to a private audience.
Speak the truth to me of this hidden moon. Remember, falsehood brings my wrath, but honesty shall earn rewards beyond imagining.
Oh, champion, her eyes are like narcissi in spring. Her brows curved like a painter's finest brush. Her lips are pomegranate seeds. Her hair falls like black silk to silver ankles.
Her wisdom matches her beauty. Her grace equals her nobility. In all the world's great houses, none equals her in perfection.
With each word they spoke, the mighty warrior's heart beat stronger, until he could no longer hide his growing passion.
How might one find a path to such a treasure? My heart and soul are filled with thoughts of her alone.
If the mighty lion wishes to meet his mate, we know the secret paths of love. With a rope at midnight, by the high palace wall.
We shall bring the musk-scented one to your presence. Bring her lips to meet the son of Sam.
And so the trap of love was sprung. Though who was hunter and who was prey, none could truly say. When love commands, the highest walls must bow. The proudest hearts must yield and show them how. For destiny works through the smallest things to bring together future queens and kings. And so, dear listeners, we've witnessed how love's first arrow finds its mark in the most unexpected ways. From Zaal's diplomatic visit to Kabul to the clever schemes of Rudabeh's handmaidens, we've seen how fate brings together two hearts despite the barriers of history and heritage. This tale reminds us that love knows no boundaries, neither those of appearance nor ancestry. Just as the Simorgh once looked past Zaal's unusual appearance to see his true worth, now Rudabeh and Zaal begin to see beyond the ancient enmity between their families. Join us in our next episode as we witness the first meeting between these star-crossed lovers. If this tale of love's first stirrings has touched your heart, please support our journey through Persian mythology by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. Until next time, this is Sindokt, reminding you that sometimes love's greatest magic lies in its power to heal ancient wounds.